We're diving deep into the story of a small but incredibly valuable coin, the 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. That's right. This tiny dime could be worth millions of dollars. So, if you've got some dimes lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. Let's start with a bit of history. The year 1976 was significant for the United States, marking the bicentennial, a celebration of America's 200th birthday. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins from 1976 received special bicentennial designs, the humble dime remained the same. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946, kept its familiar profile, but the 1976 version holds a mystery. Now, what's so special about the no-mint mark dimes? In 1976, most dimes were minted in Philadelphia, but a mistake at the Philadelphia Mint led to some dimes leaving the facility without any mint mark. Normally, dimes from Philadelphia have no mint mark, but this time, collectors noticed something odd. The quality and clarity of these coins were unusually high. Experts suspect that some of these dimes were struck with proof quality techniques meant for special sets, which are usually much more detailed. These high-quality, no-mint mark dimes are ultra-rare. And that's where things get interesting. Because of their rarity and the bicentennial year, collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for one of these perfect no-mint mark 1976 dimes. Some have been appraised at values well over $1 million. So, what should you look for? If you have a 1976 dime with no mint mark, inspect it closely. A true $1 million dime will be flawless, with mirror-like surfaces, sharp details, and a frosted appearance on Roosevelt's face, indicating it might be one of these rare proof-like strikes. Any scratches, wear, or imperfections will lower its value, so be extra careful when handling it. Handling rare coins properly is essential. Use gloves, and if you want to get an expert opinion, consider sending it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can assess the quality and authenticity, and they'll also help you determine if yours is one of these ultra-rare 1976 dimes. But why are collectors willing to pay so much? It's all about rarity, history, and condition. The 1976 no-mint mark dime is an anomaly that ties into a historical celebration year. Combine that with near-proof quality and the fact that very few of these coins exist, and you've got a true collector's gem. Supply is low, but demand is sky-high. So, could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? It's possible. Many of these dimes are still in circulation or in collections, waiting to be discovered. Imagine finding a $1 million dime in your pocket change. We're diving into the surprising story behind the 2013 Roosevelt dime. Believe it or not, this little dime could be worth way more than its face value. Yes, you heard that right. While the Roosevelt dime might seem like just another ordinary coin, some rare errors and unique characteristics have turned certain 2013 dimes into highly valuable collectibles. Let's start with some quick history. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, right after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by John R. Sinek, this dime honors Roosevelt for his role in founding the March of Dimes to fight polio. Over the years, the Roosevelt dime has stayed in circulation with only a few modifications. But what makes the 2013 Roosevelt dime stand out? Well, that's where things get interesting. Certain 2013 dimes have been found with unique mint errors, turning these everyday coins into prized collectibles worth potentially thousands, and sometimes even millions, to the right collector. Now, what types of errors should you be looking for? Well, collectors have found a few different types on the 2013 Roosevelt dime. These include double dies, where parts of the design appear duplicated, and off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted. Imagine finding one of these error dimes in your spare change. A dime with a noticeable error can command high prices in the collector market. And the rarer or more dramatic the error, the more valuable it can be. In pristine, uncirculated condition with a unique error, certain 2013 Roosevelt dimes have reportedly sold for incredible amounts. A top-grade error coin could bring thousands, and in rare cases with extreme, unique errors, it could even climb into the millions. So, if you come across a 2013 Roosevelt dime, be sure to take a closer look. Check for any unusual features. And if you think you've found an error, it might be worth having it professionally graded. Professional grading can confirm the coin's condition and certify the error, which can make a massive difference in its final sale price. Who knows? That dime sitting in your pocket or change jar might just be hiding a little fortune. And remember, collectors are constantly searching for these unique error coins. So keep your eyes peeled. We're focusing on a coin that might surprise you. The 2015 Roosevelt dime. That's right. This tiny coin has a story and potential value that could shock you. Stick around to find out why some of these dimes might be worth more than you'd expect, even reaching up to millions in value. Alright, let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. This design was meant to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away just the year before. Why Roosevelt? Because he played a huge role in raising awareness about polio, which led to the March of Dimes program. Fittingly, he's been on the dime ever since. Now, fast forward to 2015, and the Roosevelt dime is still going strong. This year, though, holds a special place not just because of the design, but because of some rare errors that make certain 2015 dimes incredibly valuable. Asterisk. So what's so special about the 2015 dime? Well, if you look closely, you'll see a small P on the front, right by Roosevelt's neck. This mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. Now, while millions of dimes were minted in Philadelphia in 2015, a few of them had errors during the minting process that collectors are going wild over. Errors in coins can sometimes lead to enormous value increases, and the 2015 Roosevelt dime is no exception. Imagine finding a tiny flaw on a dime that makes it worth a fortune. Now, let's break down exactly which errors to look for and why they can be so valuable. The most sought-after errors on 2015 dimes include off-center strikes, double dies, and missing elements. These errors make the coin unique, and for collectors, rarity equals value. For instance, a 2015 dime with an off-center strike, where the image is misaligned, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the condition. But even more valuable are the doubled dies, where certain details, like letters or numbers, appear doubled due to a rare minting glitch. The rarity of these errors drives up the price. Some have even sold at auction for mind-boggling sums. So, what should you look for if you want to find a valuable 2015 dime in your own pocket change? Grab a magnifying glass and check these key first. Inspect Roosevelt's profile and the date for any signs of doubling. Look for any letters that seem thicker than normal or appear to have a shadow. Also, check the outer edges for any off-center strikes. And, of course, keep an eye out for the absence of the mint mark, which would make the dime even rarer. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Over the past few years, certain 2015 Roosevelt dimes with unique errors have been auctioned off for thousands of dollars. And in some cases, collectors have valued extremely rare specimens into the millions. These rare finds have caught the attention of serious collectors who want to add one-of-a-kind coins to their collections. The most valuable examples tend to be those in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, graded by a professional service. If you think you've found one of these rare dimes, it might be worth getting it graded to see how much it could bring at auction. So there you have it. The 2015 Roosevelt dime may just be one of the most intriguing modern coins out there, especially if you come across one with a rare error. Keep checking your change. Who knows? You might be holding a coin worth thousands or even millions right now. We're diving into the fascinating world of the Roosevelt dime, specifically focusing on the 1991 mint mark coin. What makes this particular dime so interesting? And can it really be worth millions of dollars? Stay tuned to find out. First, let's start with a little history. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, just a year after President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. Roosevelt was honored on the dime not just because he was a beloved president, but also because he founded the March of Dimes, an organization that raised money to fight polio, a disease Roosevelt himself battled. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has become an iconic piece of American currency. Now, let's fast forward to 1991 and the mint mark. which tells us that these dimes were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In most cases, a 1991 P. Roosevelt dime is worth just a little more than face value, especially if it's in circulated condition. But some of these coins are in mint condition, and there are even rarer varieties with unique errors that can make these dimes skyrocket in value. What makes some 1991 P. Roosevelt dimes so valuable? There are two main factors: condition and mint errors. A flawless, high-grade coin with a rating of MS67 or higher can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Why? Because finding a perfectly preserved 1991 P dime is much rarer than you'd think. And then there's the possibility of mint errors. These could be off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned dies. Now, let's talk about the million-dollar question. Can a 1991 P. Roosevelt dime really be worth millions? Well, while it's extremely rare, it's not impossible. Coins with unique or extreme errors that are one-of-a-kind can attract huge sums from collectors. Think of it this way. If a particular dime has an error so unusual that no other coin from that year or mint exists like it, it could be considered priceless. This rarity can lead to astronomical bids at auction, sometimes reaching the million-dollar mark if collectors believe it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Alright, so now you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1991 P. Roosevelt dime is one of these valuable coins? Here are a few quick tips. If your dime looks almost brand new, with no scratches, marks, or wear, it could be worth grading. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for any doubling, misalignment, or other mint errors. If you think you have something special, consider getting the coin professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can confirm the grade, which could significantly increase the value. So, what's the takeaway on the 1991 P. Roosevelt dime? Most of these dimes are worth face value or slightly more, but if you happen to have a high-grade or error version, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Rare coins with unique errors or in flawless condition have proven time and again to attract the attention and the wallets of serious collectors. We're diving into the story of a coin that's hiding in plain sight but might just be worth a fortune. It's the 2023 P. Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, and we're here to explore its history, its design, and why certain rare dimes from this year could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around. This is one you don't want to miss. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, and it's been a part of American currency ever since. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was a huge advocate for those affected by polio, a cause symbolized by the March of Dimes Foundation. Fast forward to 2023, and the Roosevelt dime is still one of the most common coins in your pocket change. But here's the twist. Some of these 2023 dimes could be rare, valuable gems worth a lot more than 10 cents. So what makes the 2023 Roosevelt dime special? First, it has the P mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. In recent years, Philadelphia mint marks have become more interesting to collectors, especially when they display unique characteristics. Look right here, the small p can make all the difference when we're talking about value. But what's really exciting is the potential for errors, high-quality strikes, and some rumored variations that make a select few of these 2023 dimes truly valuable. Now, here's where things get interesting. Certain error coins or high-grade versions of the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime are highly sought after by collectors. Error coins, like double dies, misstrikes, or off-center strikes, are incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. In fact, a perfect MS70 grade, the highest grade possible, can make a coin worth thousands or even millions to the right buyer. That's why some of these 2023 P. Roosevelt dimes could be fetching staggering prices in auctions. Wondering if you've got a valuable 2023 P. Roosevelt dime in your change? Here's what to do. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine your dime closely. Look for signs of errors like double strikes, die cracks, or even slight misprints on the date or mint mark. If your coin is in perfect condition with no scratches or wear, it could be a high-grade specimen. To find out the exact value, you may want to send it in for professional grading with services like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade 2023 dime can easily climb in value and become a prized piece in any collection. Just recently, we've seen coins with unique features or near-perfect condition sell for incredible amounts at auction. Collectors are always on the lookout for the next big find, and the 2023 Roosevelt dime, with its potential for rarity and high-quality strikes, could be just that. So there you have it. The 2023 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime could be worth a small fortune if you find the right one. If you enjoyed learning about this hidden treasure, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on valuable coins. And let us know in the comments, have you found any rare 2023 dimes? Happy hunting, and may your pocket change bring you treasure. Here's a compelling YouTube script about the 2005 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, including its history and the intriguing factors that could make it worth millions. Have you ever thought that the dime in your pocket could be worth millions? Today, we're talking about the 2005 Roosevelt dime with the P Mint Mark, a coin that holds secrets, history, and, for some, an unexpected fortune. Stick around to discover why this ordinary-looking dime could be worth a life-changing amount. First, a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a key figure in leading the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, and his association with the March of Dimes, an organization focused on fighting polio, made this coin a fitting tribute. The 2005 Roosevelt dime with the P Mint Mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a historic minting location known for producing billions of coins each year. But what sets this dime apart? Why could some of these coins be worth millions of dollars? Let's break it down. When it comes to coins, value is driven by rarity, condition, demand, and error types. For the 2005 P Roosevelt dime, collectors are on the lookout for rare error coins. Errors can happen during the minting process. Think of double dies, misaligned prints, or off-center strikes. If your dime has one of these characteristics, you could be looking at a substantial payoff. One type of valuable error to watch for in the 2005 Roosevelt dime is the double die. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a slightly blurred or doubled look on elements like the date, mint mark, or Roosevelt's profile. Coins with significant doubling are rare and can fetch high prices. Collectors are also looking for pristine, uncirculated dimes with a flawless shine. Coins that have never been handled and are in perfect condition, known as mint state coins, are extremely desirable. A 2005 P Roosevelt dime in a high mint state with rare error characteristics could sell for thousands or even millions at auction. Just recently, certain Roosevelt dimes with unique errors have hit massive prices at auction. A perfectly preserved dime with an ultra-rare error could draw major bids from collectors, possibly even hitting the $1 million mark. So, could your dime be a hidden treasure? Here's what to do. Start by examining any 2005 Roosevelt dimes you have. Look closely for doubling on the design, off-center strikes, or any unusual marks. Use a magnifying glass or take it to a professional grader if you're unsure. Condition is everything, so handle with care. The journey from pocket change to $1 million fortune is rare but possible. So next time you hold a dime in your hand, remember, it could be worth more than you'd ever imagine. Be sure to like and subscribe for more coin secrets that could change your luck. We're diving into the story behind a little dime that has a huge potential value. That's right, the 1984 P Roosevelt dime. You might just have one hiding in your pocket change that's worth thousands or even millions of dollars. So, stay tuned to find out what makes this coin so special. First, let's look at a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a champion in the fight against polio. His legacy was honored through the dime, a symbol of his contributions to the March of Dimes organization. The 1984 Roosevelt dime, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, continued this iconic design, featuring Roosevelt's portrait on the front and a torch, oak branch, and olive branch on the reverse. But what makes the 1984 P dime potentially worth a fortune? To start, these dimes are identified by their P Mint mark, showing they were struck in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Specific versions of this dime were struck with rare errors that make them unique and highly valuable. Error coins are where the value really spikes. Some 1984 P dimes have errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even die cracks. Any of these errors can raise a dime's value from mere cents to hundreds, thousands, or even more. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die error, where the design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Grading is critical to determining a coin's value. Most of the 1984 P dimes you'll find will be worth only face value if they're worn out. But if you happen to find one in uncirculated or mint condition, especially with an error, you're in luck. Coins that receive a high grade from a grading company, such as an MS-67 or higher, can be worth significantly more. Here's where things get exciting. Recently, some rare Roosevelt dimes with unique error features have been auctioned for tens of thousands, with some even estimated in the $1 million range. This includes high-quality 1984 P dimes with error varieties and in superb mint condition. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for a rare find, and if you have a coin that checks all the boxes, it could reach an impressive price. So, how can you get your hands on one? Start by checking your pocket change or searching through rolls of dimes from the bank. Visit coin shops or attend coin shows where you might come across rare varieties. And always keep an eye out for any unusual features on your coins, especially on those 1984 P dimes. To recap, the 1984 P Roosevelt dime is not only a piece of history, but also a hidden treasure. With rare error varieties and high-grade examples going for thousands or even millions, it's a coin every collector should look out for. Don't forget to check your change, inspect your dimes closely, and maybe, just maybe, you'll strike it rich. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting tips and treasure hunts. And let us know in the comments. Have you ever come across a rare Roosevelt dime? We're diving into the story of the 2017 P Roosevelt dime, a coin that might be hiding in your pocket change right now. But here's the kicker. Some of these dimes could be worth a small fortune. So, stick around as we explore the history, unique details, and exactly what makes certain 2017 P dimes worth potentially millions of dollars. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, honoring Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. The coin was created not only to celebrate Roosevelt's legacy but also to highlight his fight against polio, with proceeds from the March of Dimes aimed at funding research for the disease. The 2017 P Roosevelt dime is part of this long-running series, but it carries something extra special, the Philadelphia Mint Mark P, which has its own fascinating story. One detail that makes the 2017 P Roosevelt dime so unique is the P Mint mark. Believe it or not, this was the very first year that the Philadelphia Mint added the P mark on dimes. The Mint did this to celebrate its 225th anniversary, making this dime an important piece of U.S. coinage history. Before 2017, Philadelphia minted dimes without a mint mark. So this one is a game changer. Alright, so what's the real reason why some of these dimes could be worth millions? Collectors have discovered that a small number of these dimes feature extremely rare errors that occurred during the minting process, making these coins one of a kind. Some of these errors include double die strikes, off-center strikes, and even missing features. And when collectors come across a coin with a perfect error like this, values can skyrocket. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and Roosevelt's profile. If you see doubling, you might have a valuable dime. Sometimes the die hits the coin off-center, leaving part of the design missing. These can be very rare and desirable. Some coins have what's called a broad strike, or an error where the ridged edge is smooth instead. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. If your dime is shiny and free from wear, it could be worth a premium. Believe it or not, some 2017 P Roosevelt dimes with unique errors have already sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. As collectors' interest in error coins keeps growing, some experts believe a flawless error coin from this year could one day sell for $1 million or more. This is why coin collectors, and even everyday people are keeping a close eye on their change. So, if you're a collector, or even if you're just curious about the coins in your pocket, make sure to keep an eye out for that 2017 Roosevelt dime. You never know. You could be holding $1 million coin. Let us know in the comments if you've come across any 2017 dimes with interesting features. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on the coins that could be hiding real value right under our noses. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 2022 Roosevelt dime. Yes, that little coin you probably have in your pocket or purse. But did you know some of these dimes have collectors going wild and are rumored to be worth a small fortune? Let's find out why. Before we dig into what makes the 2022 Roosevelt dime so unique, let's take a quick look back at the Roosevelt dime itself. This coin was first introduced in 1946, just after President Franklin D. Roosevelt's passing. The design commemorates Roosevelt, who championed the March of Dimes campaign against polio, and it's been a fixture in our change ever since. The design has largely remained the same since then, with his profile on the front and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the back, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Now, what makes the 2022 dime interesting is its P mint mark. This letter tells us it was minted in Philadelphia. Each year, collectors look for specific coins from different mints with unique characteristics that make them rare. For most modern dimes, a P mint mark isn't usually special on its own. However, there have been some reports and rumors swirling around about certain 2022 dimes with unique minting errors or incredibly rare qualities that have driven their value up significantly. Now, let's address the big question. Could a 2022 Roosevelt dime actually be worth millions of dollars? Well, for typical dimes in mint condition, they're only worth face value, or maybe a bit more if graded highly by collectors. However, certain mint errors can turn an ordinary dime into a valuable collector's item. For instance, if a 2022 dime has a mint error, like a double die, a misprint, or any other mistake, it can fetch thousands, if not more, depending on the rarity and demand. And in extreme cases, certain coins have sold for staggering amounts due to their unique errors and high-quality condition. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass or microscope. Look for any doubling in the text, date, or Roosevelt's face. Also, check for off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing elements. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition or those that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can be much more valuable. If you think you've found something unique, consider reaching out to a professional coin dealer or sending it in for grading. Now, let's be clear, not every 2022 Roosevelt dime will be worth a fortune. But if you're lucky enough to find one with a rare error, you could be looking at a valuable collector's item. Most 2022 dimes are worth face value, but with coins, you never know. Sometimes the rarest treasures come from unexpected places. So, if you have any 2022 Roosevelt dimes, check them out and see if you've got a hidden gem. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more coin collecting tips and stories. We're diving into an extraordinary tale, a story of an everyday coin that could be hiding a massive fortune. That's right, we're talking about the 2000 Roosevelt dime, an unassuming coin that might just be worth millions. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was instrumental in the March of Dimes campaign to combat polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has been a common coin in American pockets, but not every dime is just pocket change. Some of them, like the 2000 mint mark dime, hold extraordinary value due to unique qualities. The D mint mark on this dime tells us it was minted in Denver. In the year 2000, millions of dimes were produced at this mint. So, what makes a particular dime from this year and mint so special? The answer lies in some very rare errors and the condition of the coin. Some 2000 dimes have errors that significantly increase their value. Common errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and misaligned dies, but a rare error type that collectors search for is the full bands or FB designation. This term refers to the complete, sharp definition of the bands on the torch, an indicator that the coin was struck exceptionally well. Finding a 2000D Roosevelt dime with a full band strike is incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these pristine coins. But there's more. Value isn't only about errors. Coins in mint state or MS condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, are what collectors dream of. For a 2000D Roosevelt dime to be worth millions, it would need to be in absolutely flawless, top-notch condition, likely an MS68 or higher. Just imagine finding a near-perfect 2000D dime in your spare change, only to discover that it's worth a small fortune. Coins in these exceptional grades are so rare that, if one were to be graded MS70, it could potentially fetch $1 million price tag. Make sure it has the D for Denver. Look for a flawless, uncirculated finish without any scratches or marks. Check the bands on the torch for sharp details. Look for doubling or misaligned edges. If you have a 2000D dime that checks all these boxes, you might want to get it professionally graded. The 2000D Roosevelt dime is a great example of how even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. Whether you're a collector or just someone with spare change, this story proves that treasure might be closer than you think. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more exciting stories about rare coins. And let us know in the comments, have you checked your dimes lately? Who knows, you might have a treasure waiting to be discovered.